Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about your direction in life, why it might feel like you're not going in the direction that you want to, and one or more ways that you could reevaluate how you're even conceiving of the idea of your direction in life. So, I'm not going to be inviting you to change the direction that you're moving in, but rather to reevaluate the entire concept of direction entirely. And the way that I'm going to do this is through a visual metaphor. Typically, as human beings in three-dimensional reality, we imagine ourselves to be moving in the direction that we're looking, especially if we're walking somewhere. We move one foot in front of the other and go in this direction, and when we turn our head and turn our feet, we're going in that direction or that one. So we tend to think of our lives in that same way, in a kind of linear point A to point B direction that we can see, that is almost in alignment with our physical body. Okay, does that make sense? What I'm about to tell you, though, is that that direction is only a very temporary and confusing perspective that most people get really caught up on. And it's why oftentimes people think that they're going in a direction and then it's something entirely different. And people can't understand this. And so they say, oh, well, life is just random. Oh, it never makes any sense. Because it's very difficult to actually conceive of what's actually happening. So here's a metaphor for you. Now, imagine that rather than walking in a straight line, you actually move in a spiral through space-time, but it's a spiral. So the direction you're looking in is always changing. It's, oh, so every once in a while you find that same direction you were looking in before and you say, oh, wait, here I am. I found it. And then a second later, you're in another direction again. You go around in that circle, but you are moving through space-time in 4 dimensions, not 3. It's just that you're stuck in 3 dimensions, imagine, and you're just going around on this hamster wheel, the same things happening over and over and over again. You are moving. It's just on a completely different axis. You're looking on this axis, but you're actually moving in this direction, which is perpendicular to, it's like a 90-degree angle to where you think you are. You're not even aware that that's happening, that you are in fact moving. It's kind of like how when we're standing on planet Earth, we're not aware of the fact that we're hurtling through space and time, orbiting around the sun at however many million miles an hour it is. Not million, but you know what I mean. Uh, we're not even aware of that movement, but yet it's happening. Okay. So the way that you think of your direction in life and your meaning and your purpose is not going to be found through some sort of external senses. You're not going to look with your eyes ahead of you and say, oh, yes, this is where I'm going. You might, but it's not going to actually give you that fulfilling, deeper meaning of where you're really going. Where you're really going is you have to tune into some more inward dimension so that you can kind of resonate around that loop that you're going on. You're on this thought loop, and you can see that that whole thing, that thinking process, the loop in 3D, is literally just a hamster wheel. And what's actually happening is you're being propelled through space-time by some other force, okay? And you're going in this other direction, maybe over there. But you're not looking in that direction. You're looking in this direction. So you're not aware of what it is you're going towards. That's why I'm saying there's a different way to conceive of this and feel into it. Because you're not going to use your regular senses that can only look in this direction. You need to tune into, sense, and feel that there is this other dimension. And so on it goes, 3D and 4D and 5 and 6 and on to infinity. I mean, there's infinite levels. And so I'm just speaking to all of us who are stuck on planet Earth thinking in 3 dimensions. Okay, so just to get out of that, we have to get from that to 4D or 5D or something like that, to break out of that mental box that we're in. And so hopefully that visual, I should probably maybe do a graphic of it, but hopefully that visual helps. Here, let me just draw it on a piece of paper. So in case it didn't make sense. Okay, so this is my drawing. It's basically the spiral arrow. That's you and where you think you're going and where you're looking. So you see, you're always looking kind of up, down, around, up, down, around. And then the actual direction that your whole body is moving in is that horizontal arrow, which is carrying you somewhere that you're not even really aligned with. So it's like, that's why people say, oh, I can't figure out my meaning and my purpose in life. And it's like, yeah, because you're not even, you're not letting yourself be aware of the fact that you are being carried in a direction right now and it's happening, but you're just not noticing it. It's exactly like how we don't feel usually, we don't feel the earth moving so fast. It's because of our frame of reference is tied to this body and this gravity right here. So if we do, we can feel that if we really tune into it, if we want to, we can feel the earth moving through space and so on and so forth. It's all relative. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense or not. Maybe if it doesn't make sense, then I'll come up with a better way of describing it. But it's a start.